Picking right back up again in Genesis chapter 31, verse 49. And Mizpah, notes, a beacon or watchtower, Scripture, for he, Laban, said, the Lord watch between me and you when we are absent one from another. Notes, Laban uses the name of the Lord but really does not know him. Does that sound familiar? The church is full of them nowadays. Verse 50. If you shall afflict my daughters, or if you shall take other wives besides my daughters, no man is with us. See, God is witness between me and you. Notes, at this stage Laban makes a show of piety as it regards his daughters, but his actions have spoken far louder than his words. Verse 51. And Laban said to Jacob, behold this heap, behold this pillar which I have cast between me and you. This heap of witnesses and this pillar be witness that I will not pass over this heap to you, and that you shall not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm. The God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their fathers, judge between us. Notes, Laban now holds an oath to the covenant, calling on the God of Abraham and the gods of Nahor to judge between Jacob and Laban. All of this proves that Laban worshiped many so-called gods. He really doesn't know the God of Abraham, but only puts him into the mix and on the same level as the gods of Nahor. How brainless, idiotic, and stupid all in one. I wonder if we could all put those in the same category, huh? Scripture, and Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Notes, Jacob ignored the gods of Nahor and took his only oath in the name of the only true God, who was the fear of, or the one reverenced by Isaac, as we mentioned way back there. Verse 54. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount and called his brethren to eat bread, and they did eat, and tarried all night in the mount. Notes, well, as obvious, the sacrifice didn't mean nothing to Laban, even though he was well acquainted with the practice, but it meant everything to Jacob. In essence, Jacob was saying that he was placing his faith and confidence in what the sacrifice represented, namely the coming of the Lord Christ, and the price that he would pay to redeem the lost sons of Adam's fallen race. Verse 55. And early in the morning Laban rose up and kissed his sons and his daughters and blessed them. And Laban departed and returned unto his place. Notes, so Laban passes from the scene, not to be mentioned again except in passing. Jim, I had to think about it. He's mentioned later on. He had seen the hand of God greatly so in the life of Jacob with the Lord, as stated, even speaking to him in a dream. However, he has no heart for God, and thereby the opportunity of heaven was more than likely eternally lost to him. Now we're at Genesis chapter 32, and Esau makes a return to the scene. Where is it? Okay. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. Notes, obeying the Lord, the patriarch has the assurance of the protection of angels. Verse 2. And when Jacob saw them, notes, the Lord pulls back the cover of the spirit world and allows Jacob to see the angelic host which will accompany him. Scripture, he said, this is God's host, and he called the name of the place Mahanaim. Notes, at Bethel some 20 years before, his possessions consisted of a staff, but now he has become a host. Mahanaim means two camps. His feeble camp and the encircling camp of God's mighty angels is what this seems to be alluding to. Verse 3. And Jacob sent messengers from before him to Esau his brother unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom. Notes, some people believe that Esau was the founder of the ancient city of Petra and may have been there when Jacob sent for him. Verse 4. And he commanded them, saying, Thus shall you speak unto my lord Esau. Your servant Jacob says thus, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed there until now, and I have oxen and asses, flocks and men servants and women servants, and I have sent to tell my lord that I may find grace in your sight. And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, We came to your brother Esau, and also he comes to meet you, and 400 men with him. Notes. Well, one doesn't bring that many men as it regards a mere meeting. It is almost positive that Esau had quite a few other things in mind, and they were not exactly meant to be pleasant. Well, you don't send 400 people to shake someone's hand. Verse 7. Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed. Notes, did he not remember the host of angels around him? But before we criticize Jacob, we must as well take a look at our own lives. Scripture. And he divided the people who were with him, and the flocks, and herds, and the camels into 2 bands, and said, If Esau come to the one company and smite it, then the other company which is left shall escape. And Jacob said, O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, the Lord which said unto me, Return unto your country and to your kindred, and I will deal well with you. Notes, like many today, Jacob first makes plans and then he prays. He should have reversed the action. But the sense of having acted wrongly those years ago regarding his brother Esau fills the heart with 1,000 fears and robs the Christian of confidence towards God and dignity before man. Verse 10. I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies. Notes, Jacob's prayer is the first actually recorded in the Bible. Very interesting note I found here. Scripture, and of all the truth which you have showed unto your servant, for with my staff I passed over this Jordan, and now I am become 2 bands. Notes, his prayer was correct, but his faith as of yet wasn't. Verse 11. Deliver me, I pray you, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he will come and smite me and the mother with the children. Notes, Jacob asked the Lord to deliver him, but then he turns around and tries to appease Esau with a present. Was he placing more confidence in a few lambs than he did Jehovah, to whom he had just been committing himself? But as stated, before we criticize him, we had best look at the glass. We best look into the glass of our own hearts. Verse 12. And you said, I will surely do you good, and make your seed as the sands of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. And we'll stop right there, and we'll pick right back up at Genesis chapter 32, verse 13. Thank you.